So this is the last part, which is the longest. I'm basically gonna do some comments here and there of I'm gonna watch this part of when I was sculpting, but there's really not much to say. You can see what I'm doing is just going piece by piece and not in detail, and then I might just give some proportions here and there, but it's not gonna be anything major. So like here I'm same thing as I did on the lower jaw. I'm doing like very generic ridges for in case I start like I open the mouth when I pose it, so it's not empty. It's not an empty space, but I'm not gonna go as crazy as other parts. So you see, I'm putting some irregularities on the surface just to make it a little bit more natural, but I'm never gonna go and detail of those teeth because you're never gonna see them. I mean, you might see them on the shadows and very like just sort of a hint. On the outside teeth, on the other hand, I'll put some detail in there, but it's it's very redundant to do it, especially in the inside part, because you're not going to don't sculpt when you don't gonna see. Same thing with modeling, you don't model what you're not gonna see. So same goes for sculpting. If you have some extra flat surface in there and you wanna go ahead and sculpt it, but just keep in mind that you're not gonna see it. So you can see you get when you do flesh, you're gonna have to imagine how is it gonna stretch, how much percentage of bone is it, and how much that part of the body flexes when it opens. How much does it flex, and how much like you have your fingers and they flex a lot, so you have very deep creases in between. Same thing, you have your, like, this creature probably moves a lot and has very sensitive skin because he's in the sun a lot, and he's very very old, and so he has very damaged skin, and he probably opens his mouth a lot. So I'm making him very very over the top wrinkly, but you gotta leave some breathing areas here and there. You can't just do everything. Sometimes I do, and there's gonna be a point where you're gonna see a lot of things going on, and I'm gonna have to relax a lot of things because sometimes you go overboard. I do that. I go overboard, and then when I look back, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to set back and simplify some of this surface detail. Gonna flatten this and flatten that. So I'm starting with the chest now. I have very general structure of the chest, so I'm gonna this is a very like scaly part of the body. I want to have the ribs of the top body very prominent, and as I said, it's body on top of body, because if you want to have two limbs, it comes with a whole package. You have the pecs and the ribs, and then they blend within the secondary part of the body. So I'm doing the first top part. You're gonna see afterwards what I'm talking about. From time to time this happens, just create a new document and drop the tool again. So as you can see, I use the clay tool a lot to sort of flesh out the main structure of the muscles. It's a very good tool for that, and you can go and smooth it out. So you see, in the clavicles, I'm putting some stretch skin, because I'm imagining he because he was never like was not never like he wasn't this kind of a monster at first. I think he grew to be this. He probably, I don't know if he mutated from birth or if he mutated afterwards, but he wasn't intended to be this kind of monster. So he has a lot of like very forced, like kind of like this. The arm grew out, and then there's all these dimples and stretches that kind of feel like they're pushing the skin out. That's kind of like what I'm intending to do with this. So slowly, it's getting formed. As you can see, the scales, I blend them with the upper serratus, because they're basically the rib cage. So there you see kind of what I was doing in the concept. When I have the sensation that there's muscle and then there's a layer of skin on top. So that's why I did those little fine strokes over there. You know, it feels like like the muscle grew and grew, and it's pushing the skin. You know, so. Try to be consistent with your modeling. You know, if you want like this, craft the elements of what you did there, and apply it to the next one, apply it to the next one. Especially in like repetitions like this, just to be consistency will make it look more harmonic, you know, and natural the same way. But don't you don't have to be consistent for everything, but some things, you know, certain things you have to, like this is bone getting stretched and bone getting stretched, so they will basically react the same way. So you have to make sure that you can have the same feel, you know. So now I'm plucking out the arms a little bit more, putting the elbow and they're very human, I guess. But for this part, I am having human anatomy reference. But he's a biped in some mammal, so it's valid, you know, to grab human anatomy for it. So you see the basic structure of the muscles are there. The deltoids wrap around the biceps and the triceps, and the flexor goes behind. I made a very prominent what's it called, membrane that goes from the biceps to the pecs. You know, it's kind of like a wing, but not really. And I didn't make that for any reason. I just thought it would be kind of interesting because, you know, some animals just have webbings just because. Not well, not because maybe they have a reason, but sometimes they just look cool, you know. So I have no excuse for that. I thought it looked cool, and eventually I'm gonna push it up, you know, so it's very like much more subtle than what it is right now. So this is what I was talking about. You know, I have I have a upper shoulder blade, and then I'm gonna go a lower shoulder blade, and basically the trapezius for the lower shoulder blade is gonna be the dorsal for the dorsal or whatever it's called. You know, foreign people don't know how to say proper things, but whatever. You know what I mean. You know the latissimus dorsi, I think it is called. It goes and serves the same purpose of the trapezius to the deltoid and to the other shoulder blade. But right now you can see it because I'm focusing on this part. So you see, sometimes it's very cool to go from small to big, and then from big to small. You know, in the concept I had it a little bit too even. Here I decided to make it like a little bit more rhythmic. You know, it's like go small, medium, big, big, medium, small. So, like I say, I leave the object into a certain amount of detail, and then I jump into another one, another piece. And right now I'm doing the lower hand. I mean the upper hands, the small ones. So you're gonna notice that it's like, oh, this looks very messy, you know, and it will look messy, but uh, that's the whole point, you know. You don't try to go ahead and just do like every minor detail. I mean, you can, but only if you really know what you're doing, and if you already laid out the basic structure of it. But I recommend to do this first, you know, just lay out the rough structure of the bones and the skin that sinks and stretches and all that, you know. It's just easier because later on, if you try to do that with all the detailing, you might lose it, and then you're gonna have to do it again. So you see, now I start adding more defined detailing on where, and especially mainly on where I think the hand's gonna bend a lot, you know. So it probably bends so many times that it has all these wrinkles, you know. if your creature is a young creature, you have to go. You have to go more like more subtle. You know, you can for subtleties you can do that and then flatten it out, and it's a little bit more complicated, but subtleties are a little bit more challenging. I must say, you know. This guy is not too subtle, so it's not that hard. So you see, it still looks very rough, but I don't care right now. I'm just trying to figure out the whole structure of the hand. Something as I was doing before on the concept, you know, figuring out the structure, figuring out the shape of it, um, bulging things out, and making sure that it looks fleshy, like making knuckles fleshy and making sure that you see that it's loose skin, you know, because when you bend your hands, you know, you can see that there's some loose skin on the knuckles, and then when you press back, it's gonna get tense, you know, and when you open your hand, it gets relaxed. So this guy has relaxed hands, so probably like if they ever have to read this guy, they're like, I probably will have to do some plane shape. I mean, displacement or normal map animation on it to relax that part, you know, when he closes his hands. But right now he's relaxed, so it when they open the hands, it's gonna get a lot more wrinkle action there. The nails right now, I'm just, you know, making them so it doesn't look like they're gonna break right away, you know, because right now they're very thin, so they look like potentially you can grab them and they will break. So I'm making it a little bit strong, but not too much because this guy has thin nails, you know, but still you can put some volume into them. Also, you gotta same thing, make the transition between each nail to the flesh. So here I'm doing another knuckle. I'm just following the same pattern I did it before. I'm trying to figure out where the wrinkle is gonna follow to, you know. So I don't want to make it too human, you know. If you make it too human, it's gonna be too obvious. So you can grab reference from human, but don't rely on it 100%. Just mix things out, you know, like look at a human hand and then look at a chicken hand or whatever, you know, and you will come up with something different. So I'm making the major wrinkles on the palm. Here it looks a little bit too human, but you know, I will tweak it later on, and also it has enough features to make it different. You know, like he has very little pinky and very two prominent index and a middle finger. And he only has four fingers. So I probably could make it a little bit less human, this hand, but you know, next time, next picture. This one I'm gonna work with what I have. That's the thing, you know. That's what I was saying. Like, probably if I went back before modeling and did the hand a little bit less human, I would have modeled the base mesh a little bit less human. But I'm not complaining about what I did here, so I'm fine. You know, I think it's good enough for with what we're working with. You know. So you see right now, it looks very weird. The left side of the palm. So I'm gonna have to grab a big tool, a big move tool, and push it down later on, and push the upper part of the palm down. So it's getting some formats, still a lot of things to have to that have room of improvement that I could tweak, but you know, same thing with when you're drawing or sculpting. I mean, or modeling, you gotta stop working a little bit and then go back and then look at your model, and if you're happy with it, then move on to something else. If not, tweak it, but don't spend too much on one thing. You know, do one thing, move on, and then you can come back on it. So you see it going an angle in to the wrinkles. I like to do that because when you work through the camera, when you do a wrinkle, it never like it kind of follows the same gravity laws as everything, you know. Like it gets a little bit overlapped with the skin. So if you do that, if you do a stroke with and it um it follows the normals, it's gonna look a little bit off, you know. It kind of feels like, oh, you went in there and carved it, instead of, oh, the skin kind of like, after all those bends and everything, it fell, and then it kind of like accumulated skin and got worn out and things like that. You gotta have a good sense of gravity when you're doing this, you know. So you have the top part mostly blocked out. Still a lot of things to do to fix. So now I'm going to do the structure of the secondary arm and the support arms, the long arms. It's basically the same structure, you know. Biped upper arms. Yeah, your delta, the bicep, tricep, flexor, like the elbow, everything. So there's not much to explain here. You can just same thing. I use the clay tool and lay out the whole strings of muscles one by one, you know, and then smooth it out. So there's not much science into this, you know. Um, it's mostly the artist, you know. The software plays a little bit of I guess like it could influence the way you sculpt or whatever, you know. But if you don't have a good idea of what you want to do, and if you don't have reference, and if you don't have like if you don't practice often, then it's kind of hard to get a good result out of it. Even if you know the software very well, you know. Like I don't use ZBrush that much. I actually picked it up just recently again. I used it when I was in school, and I didn't use it again. And I'm pretty comfortable with it. I think this is the same concept as any other sculpting package, you know. he's just getting used to the interface and trying all the brushes and functions and everything else, so there's no excuse, that's like, oh, I don't really like this, I don't really like that. You shouldn't just try it before, and really try it. I mean, people get frustrated when they open it, and the way it works, you have to bring it to it's fine, it's cool. There's advantages and disadvantages of every software, and you just gotta look at the positive, the features of the package. Because at the end, you can achieve the same result in different stuff, and it's kind of like 3D modeling, 3D packages. I don't know effects wise and animation wise, but modeling wise, you can achieve the same in every package. You just gotta sometimes take different routes and achieve things differently, but at the end you can. It's just polygons, and it's just pushing and pulling points, so. Yeah, and then the same thing I did for the this guy is gonna have more wrinkles on the front side of the palm, on the top part where the where the hand is gonna bend more, because he's gonna walk with, basically he's gonna walk with the hands, so it's a little more, it has to be a little more worn out, and it has to have more bends and wrinkles and cuts and hard skin in there, You gotta be aware of of what kind of treatment does each part of the body gets, like what gets more beaten and worn up, and what's more protected, what will be more like preserved, like what parts of the body will be uh, smoother and will take less damage when he's in a fight or whatever. So yeah, this guy has like a minor hand, it's like he's been on the ground, he's been on the, like, walking through rocks and through, like, even through really hot stuff, so he's probably has some burns in there, and and all of that I'm gonna achieve within the texture later on. But here you can kind of portray what you have in mind with just just look at, I'm looking at a miner's hand right now, and I see that it's very wrinkly and very like it looks like he has a, his skin is very hard, it became very hard. So once again, right now it still looks very rough, but don't think oh, it's not going nowhere, just work as much as you can with it, and then once you feel like, if you feel like you're not going nowhere, move on to another piece, and then come back to it. But make sure you come back to it if you think there's something wrong. Just see it with fresh eyes, like because if you see one thing all the time, you're not gonna be, even if you know there's something wrong with it, you're never gonna be exactly sure what is it, or you're gonna have a harder time, finding out what's wrong with it. So when I start doing the lower part of the back, which is another back, he has basically two backs. I'm also gonna put some detail on the chest. So as you can see, that's what I was talking about. He has two pecs growing out from the rib cage, and the serratus kind of becomes another like a part of the bicep. I mean part of the pectorals. So you see, he has two sets of serratus because he has two sets of arms. So you just gotta figure out a way to blend things together, and then you can have multiple limbs that a regular creature in the real world won't have. So you see in the stomach, I'm doing the same thing. You know, I'm putting some stretch skin and stuff in there because it grew. It was not already. It was not original like that. You know, it kept growing, and you know, there's a lot of stretch skin in there. So once again, I just step back and look at it and see what's wrong with it. Defining the webbing a little bit. It's very thick webbing. It's not like paper thin webbing, because he's not gonna fly or anything. So all the webbing this guy has, I think, is purely aesthetic. Like, I don't think it has any functionality at all. But you know, you can get some artistic liberties with it. You know, if it's not affecting the structure, you can put it in. You know, because I mean, the rest of the functionality is there. So why not? So here's a good example of what I was talking about, just laying out the structure of the muscles, and then just smoothing it out. You know, here I'm doing the secondary part of the back, which is the shoulder blades and the spine and the dorsey, and just trying to, later on I'm gonna have to blend it with the top part. So right now, just in the general structure of the muscles. It looks like very bubbly right now, but I don't care as long as it creates the volume that I need. As you can see, I wanna blend it a little bit with the webbing that I have growing from the back to the forearm of the character. So you see, it's a lot more clear now what I have once I smooth everything out. So here I'm doing the legs. It's basically the same concept as I was doing before. You know, just structuring it before I do anything else, and making sure it reads. So same thing, you know, I'm leaving out the structure of the the structure of the muscles on the leg. I'm also gonna structure the vertebrae on the tail. This is just making it as a first pass to get the final shape all done before I do anything else. I might afterwards I might do some proportion changes and surfacing detail changes. But for now, it's just all about structure until I finish everything. Like it's kind of making an overhaul of the character. So as you can see, I'm revisiting this to make subtle changes and more surface detailing. Now that I back from back out from it, I can come back and just make subtle changes and fixes, and also make it more coherent with the rest of the model. So now you can see it's getting way more detail, like little by little, and it's a good thing, but also keep in mind that don't get attached with all the detail, because later on I'm gonna like erase a lot of it. That right now I'm having a ball and just going at it, and there's gonna be a point when I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be like, this is a little bit too busy, so I'm gonna smooth things out. But it's good to go a little bit overboard sometimes and then just go back. It's uh it's totally a valid thing, as long as you know that it looks busy and you're gonna fix it later, then that's fine. But don't keep it too busy, because if you do, things get a little bit lost. Um, of course, there are some exceptions that you can go crazy and stuff, but in this guy situation, I guess I'm gonna see where it goes with all this detail, but I'm probably gonna step back at one point. So the tail is the last part I'm gonna detail, and then I'm gonna move on to uh, clearing things up and making it a little bit less busy, and then I'm gonna do a quick pose and just to test it and see how it looks overall, and it should be good to go pretty soon. But yeah, it's good. It's good to post it and see how it's gonna look at the end. You know, sometimes it's uh it's even good to extract the displacement on my map and post it there. But I'm not gonna do that for this. I'm just gonna go ahead and sculpt it. And pose the sculpture just for visualization purposes, and just to show you guys kind of what it will look at the end, you know. But once I start texturing, I'm gonna repose it, so it's gonna be a functional character, you know. But as you can see, it's a little bit too busy right now, but I'm gonna step back on it at one point. So this is the the only part I kept separate, which is the tongue. I mainly did it because I don't need to show the connection of the connection of the tongue with the body. There's there's ways you can blend things, but I don't really care how it connects, because you're never gonna see it because it's way inside the mouth. So basically the same concept, structure and then surface detailing. So as you can see, the model looks a lot more cleaned up, and I smooth out some areas. Now I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna make a quick post to see how it's gonna look at the end, once it's all rigged and stuff. But this I'm just gonna use a transpose. It's very easy. You just gotta do masks and switch from edit to move or rotate or scale, and then you can create a bone, and and then you just the middle one you can move it, and then the lower part you can rotate. It's very easy to very easy to use. It's very intuitive, I think. I can't really go and tell you what does what exactly. You gotta figure it out yourself, but it's very easy. It's just a series of masks that you select and then move or rotate or scale. But for posting a character, don't scale. That's unless you want to change proportions. But yeah, I mostly use rotate on the pose. Now and then I use move to kind of like stretch things out, but I don't use it too much. when you do your posing, see, when you do your posing, try to uh, try to follow the same principles as with drawing or in composition. Like try to have breathing spaces and have to have a strong. You have to have a strong silhouette uh, that allows you to see the whole model uh, at its best. With enough action and weight and personality. There's a lot of factors that comes into posing. This is not important if you're never gonna post it, but it's nice. It shows up the model better. It uh it just uh it just it just to show it off better and sell it. But but yeah, it's not necessarily a requirement to be a modeler to be good at posing, but it's definitely a big plus. It's a huge plus to have some sort of sense of posing, even if you're not the best poser. You're gonna have to be critical to how things look when they move. Because at the end you're making you're making the muscles that are gonna get moved, and you're doing stuff that is gonna move. So you wanna try to imagine how it's gonna move. So this is basically the end of the class. I'm gonna show you guys two renders of one side and one on the other side. It's basically just the basic ZBrush lighting, you know, and it's just to see how the surface reacts to light. It's nothing fancy or anything. You can just go and adjust your light under the light menu, and then just go render on best. And yeah, hope you guys get something out of all my rambling and stuff. You know, just go and grab a model, maybe a basic model, or you can just model yourself, the box model, and it doesn't have to be complicated. You can do a lot with the sculpt, you know. And, afterwards, if your model is is good on the high res, but then it's bad on the low res, you can always retopo. And there's a lot of options with modeling and sculpting. There's not only one approach. There's many approaches that you can do. Yeah. But for production, it's always good to go reasonably high on the poly modeling, and then it's sculpted. And then even then you have to grab the base mesh and clean it up a little bit. But I'm not going to show this in this class. This class was primarily for character design and sculpting. But yeah, you guys can ask me any questions that you have, and as I will answer as soon as I see it. And yeah, you guys can also comment on I don't know what you think of the creature, and if you want me to give you any feedback or any ideas that you guys have, just let me know. And yeah, it's all I have to say. And happy concepting, happy sculpting, and go make crazy creatures. You know, it's only a matter of grabbing the right inspiration, the right reference, and the right opinions, you know, and then you have to have the right decisions, you know, because at the end you'd make the decisions of what the character is gonna be. So yeah, thanks so much, guys, and hope to see you in the forums, and just do cool stuff, you know. That's all it is. Just making cool stuff. And anyways, I don't have anything else to say, so take it easy, and thank you guys again. See ya.